Today's topic is slip speed, slip, and percent slip. But in order to understand slip speed, we have to review synchronous speed first. So synchronous speed is just the speed of the magnetic field of the stator. And if you remember, the formula for synchronous speed is 120F over P. So in other words, synchronous speed is dependent upon the frequency, in this case 60 hertz, and the number of poles in the motor. Here I have drawn a three-phase motor and it's 2 poles, so we're going to use that as an example. So we got 120 times 60 hertz over 2 poles. If you do the calculations, you get 3,600 RPM. So what that means is the magnetic field of the stator is traveling around at 3,600 revolutions per minute. Now let's focus on the rotor. So the rotor is this guy here, and that's also going to be spinning in the same direction of the stator, but it's always spinning at a less speed than the stator. So how much less? Just depends on the circumstances. If it's a no-load speed, the no-load speed of a motor is always very close to its synchronous speed. So an example of a no-load speed for this motor could be 3,598 RPM. Now the full load speed, generally the slip speed is between 2 and 8%, so anywhere in that area. I'm just going to pick a nice easy number here. For this example, let's go with 3,500 RPM. So that's the speed that the rotor is spinning at. By the way, the rotor can never spin at the same speed as the stator, because if it did, no lines of flux would be being cut, and therefore no torque would be created in the rotor, and therefore it wouldn't spin. So that's why the rotor never spins as fast as the stator. Okay, now slip speed is the concept of the difference between how fast the rotor is spinning and how fast the stator is spinning. So the formula is quite simple. It's the synchronous speed minus the rotor speed. So in my example here, we got a synchronous speed at 3,600. We have a rotor speed of 3,500, and that will give us a slip speed of 100 RPM. And again, slip speed is just a concept. You can't actually see the speed. It's basically how much the rotor is not spinning, and that's compared to the stator. So in this case, it's not spinning 100 RPM. Now slip itself is just the ratio of slip speed to synchronous speed. So the formula here is slip speed over synchronous speed. In this case, 100 over 3,600. Good idea to remember that this is over synchronous speed and not rotor speed. So in this case, 3,600. If you do the math on that, you get 0.0278. There are no units for slip. It's just a decimal. And slip will always be a decimal unless the rotor is completely stopped, and then slip is 1. Percent slip is slip times 100. In this case, we have 2.78% slip. Until next time.